Oh my god, car finance is such a scam.
If you have a car, prepare to go broke.
It's crazy to me people are driving around with $700 car payment.
If your car payment is half your paycheck, you can't afford it.
The older I get, the more I realize that everyone is just like in massive debt and they don't seem to care about it.
The average car payment right now in America is around $700 to $800 per month. And some of y'all be paying that ridiculous amount of money per month. So today, we're gonna be looking at ridiculous car payments that should be illegal.
Yes, sir, Miss Cheyenne. Came out and got this 2021 Ford Escape, Miss Cheyenne. How much did you put down?
1,000.
All right, how much was your monthly payment?
$389.
Okay. How long are you financing for?
267 months.
All right, congratulations, okay?
267 months is crazy. That's 22 years and 3 months for a car payment. I think that's just ridiculous. A car loan like that outlasts modern marriages today. How old is she? She looks around 19, 20, maximum 21. I kind of feel sorry for her though. I do actually feel sorry for her because putting a down payment of $1,000 on a 2021 Ford Escape, that's wild. So I think that car's gonna lose way too much value before she's done even paying it. If I'm being honest, the salesman does actually look even way more happier compared to her.
It's crazy to me people are driving around with $700 car payments. And that payment doesn't include insurance. I always tell myself when I get close to paying my car off, I'm gonna get a new one. I'm gonna trade it in, I'm gonna get a new one. And the moment I hit that last car payment, I said, no ma'am, I'm gonna drive this motherfucker till the engine fall out.
I mean, what can I say? That's actually a valid point. I don't have any complaint. I thought that was actually smart. This is one of the most financially sane video I've watched all day. I think this is really good. This is actually good advice. So here's something you need to know. The dealership know that the moment you get close to paying off a car, you feel like you deserve an upgrade. They know this and they're counting on it. So that feeling is manufactured. It's not normal. They know. So they're waiting for you to come close to the end of your payment so that you can open a new one. A paid off car, even an old one, is one of the most powerful tools for building wealth. Stop buying cars you don't actually need. If you don't need the car, you don't need to buy the car. Just pay off the car you've got and be satisfied with it. Keep driving the cars till the wheels fall off.
I want to know what y'all's car payments are every month because I refuse to believe that I am the only person with a high car payment, and I refuse to believe that my husband is the only man with a high truck payment.
Ma'am, you and your husband, you're not the only ones with high payment.
I don't know if y'all see it, but I literally see vehicles posted for sale now for like $100,000 to almost $200,000. And there is absolutely no way that people are purchasing these vehicles without paying a high car payment. So y'all are mad at me, and I know that I am not the only person with these high ass car payments. I'm not. And other people just might not be telling you what their car payments are, but there are a lot of people with these high car payments for absolutely no reason. Vehicles now are not the same cost as vehicles used to be. I can look online and find a hoopty, and it's going to be like $15,000. That is wild. So please, tell me what your car payments are, because I need to prove a point that I am not the only person in this predicament. Especially people that bought their cars a few years ago during the pandemic. Because that is when the cars started getting really high, which is when I bought our vehicles. So tell me, do you have a high car payment or do you have a low car payment? Because there's got to be way more high car payments than just me.
I think it's not just you and your husband. I think it's the norm now. I think it's becoming a normal thing that people get in high car payments. When you really think about it, it makes absolutely no sense that you have to pay 50% of your income into car loans. I don't think you're alone in this. I really don't think. I think this is something that's kind of known. It's become something that is socially acceptable to be in debt. So she's not wrong that car prices went up. They absolutely did. The comment, tell me your payment, tell me your car payment. I think it reveals the real problem. It's kind of, people are kind of looking for a way to justify the poor financial decisions. I think this is just one of those situations where people jump online asking what your car payment is because they feel bad about their own financial decisions. And it's quite sad that this has to be the norm in society today, because I don't think it should be the norm at all. So we've got a comment here. It says, live in Europe and never have I ever had a car payment and never met one person who did. I don't know about that because I live in Europe, all right? So there are a lot of people with car payments, if not everyone. Most people driving modern cars have payments on them. It's just facts, it's just the way it is. Most people try to go for leasing. Those companies, of course, makes more sense to go for leasing, but most people I actually know have the cars on payment. So I mean, it is what it is. People can't afford cars today because they're just way too expensive, and given the fact that salaries have remained stagnant, it just seems more and more likely that more people will go into debt just to be able to afford cars. Another comment from Karen says, I have a 2015 Jeep Wrangler and mine is $700 a month. You're not the only person with high payments. People are just too afraid to tell others. There you have it. I don't think you're the only one with the high payments. I think a lot of people are also into this high payment. I think most people are, to be honest. A lot of people are. It takes a certain level of financial literacy to actually know things like this, because most of the times buyers of these vehicles don't actually have any idea about the pit holes and the traps that comes with it. They also don't know about the consequences of defaulting on the payment. These are things the banks are actually rooting for. They want you to miss a payment. They want you to default on the payment. That way they can come and collect more interest. So you need to get yourself educated. I mean, I guess that's why we're here. We're here to teach you things like this so you can open your eyes and not fall into traps like this.
All right, yo, so my client Robbie just cashed out on the 2022 Hyundai Elantra. Robbie, how much you put down today?
$10,000.
$10,000. What's your monthly payment?
$862.
$862. How long you financing for?
Life.
I'm confused. The math is not mathing. There's $10,000 on a car and then $862 a month financing for life. What?
Financing for life, y'all. Listen, if you guys are in the market for any Elantra or Sonata, make sure you guys hit my DM.
Get with my boy.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Do not hit his DMs. What is that, a Hyundai? This has got to be a joke, man. $10,000 down for a Hyundai and then $862 a month for life. That's slavery, straight up. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me this isn't slavery. Honestly, I don't think it's actually for life because it doesn't make any sense. I think the financing for life thing is just a joke. There's no way that could be real. I think it's probably somewhere around 72 months. And I think it's just done just to get the clicks and stuff. But still, regardless, I think it's a 72 months. Even at that, we're looking at 72,000 in total for a car with an MSRP of, is that $22,000? When the person selling you something is more excited than you are, something is wrong. Nicole says putting down a 10K and having to pay 862 months is crazy.
I want to get out of my car payment so badly. I don't know how. I pay $700 a month. I had to get the leather and the bucket seats. Like, I did this for what? It's not worth it. Let this be your sign. Take the car without the car payment. The joy I would feel listening to my CDs. By the way, I have CDs. This car, for whatever reason, has a CD player. So, like, I have my CDs, but, like, the joy I would feel listening to my CDs in, like, a 1990 Land Cruiser. It's not it.
So there you go. That's another one. She said it herself. I did this for what? But that's the question no one asks before signing. The leather seats and bucket seats costs her financial freedom. So we have a comment here from Gina. She says, what they don't pay in car payments, they pay in gas and car mechanic fees. Another comment from Runner9387 says, how long is the car payment? I get it. I have no car payment and I will ride my car until the wheels fall off. Jamie says, new vehicles are a total scam. I agree.
Financing a $40,000 car when you make $50,000 or even $60,000 a year is not normal, but it is normalized. Guys, if you are always in payments and never in ownership, you are not building wealth. Just because you can come up with the monthly payment does not mean that you can afford it. A car should fit your income in a way that still allows you to save, invest, and breathe financially. If your car requires constant financing, pressure, or sacrifices in other areas of your life, it is already too expensive.
She's actually correct. A car should allow you to be able to save. A car should allow you financial freedom and also allow you save. I fully and totally agree with what she just said right there.
The older I get, the more I realize that everyone is just like in massive debt and they don't seem to care about it. Over Christmas break, my car actually broke down and I was told I need a brand new engine for like $18,000. I was like, obviously not. I'm going to sell the car, get a new one. So I've been heavily on like car TikTok and like looking at different cars and people sharing their brand new cars that they got, Toyotas, Hondas, etc. And in the comments, people will be like, oh, like how much is your monthly payment? And people are casually being like, oh, I have like $1,000 monthly payment for a Toyota. Don't get me wrong, Toyotas nowadays, super expensive. But like I grew up with a dad who was like, if you have more than a $300 to $500 car payment a month, like you can't afford that car. Like if you can't afford to put enough down to where you can have a lower car payment, like you can't afford the car. And it's not people that are then like buying used cars. It's like they're buying a brand new 2026 Grand Toyota Highlander and they're having like $1,000, even an $800 car payment is insane. Or like a $1,200 car payment. And people are like in the comment sections on all of these car videos like, oh, that's not that bad. Oh, that's not that bad. Like, are we okay?
I think the comment sections are actually doing more damage than the car dealership themselves. Everyone goes on here encouraging people to go on car loans and take out car loans where you have to pay $1,000 a month. It's crazy. So yeah, I do actually agree with what she just said regarding the fact that the comment sections actually do support this behavior. I think it's kind of the reason why we're in a situation where we are today, where people are actually going out there getting cars that they can't afford and then paying them back. See guys, here's the thing. The bank will always give you, even if they know you can't afford it. They know you can't afford it, but still they give it to you. You got to ask yourself why. Why do you think they do that?
If you have a car, prepare to go broke. Listen, no one talks about this, but the cost of running a car is the most expensive thing ever. No one talks about insurance. Do you know how much of a hidden cost insurance is? Last year I paid 6 bags for insurance. Do you know how upset that makes me? 6 bags. Petrol. A full tank is like £70 for me. And I fill it up like twice a week. Do the maths, it's peak. Then you have maintenance costs like car wash. Some people like to get their cars detailed. I just go for a light wash. And then you have them random sudden costs. A tyre might pop. Something in the engine might malfunction. You might need to refill the coolant, engine oil, something like that. There's always something going wrong with a car. It's like it's planned. It's like it's actually planned. You cannot have a clean run with any car in the world. You know, like, I'm seriously considering going electric for my next car. And that's not in my Asian genes. You know, us man, we love a petrol car. You want to hear the engine, but I'm seriously considering to go electric. Just to save, bro, it's too much. There's always something wrong with a car.
I think lowering your expenses would help solve a lot of problems. If you have to pay £6,000 a year for car insurance, I think that's just too much. That's like a signal. That's the sign that you need to actually reduce significantly on your lifestyle.
Here's a story about a dumb mistake I made in my 20s, and I'll pass it on so that you can decide whether or not you might make the same mistake as what I did. So, I bought a Porsche. I was 25. It wasn't a new Porsche, it was an old Porsche, and I convinced myself that it was reasonably cheap. It wouldn't lose much money in depreciation, and I would be able to enjoy it and have a bit of fun with it for a couple of years and sell it and get my money back. That was until 2 weeks in and the engine management light came on, and I thought, oh God, this sounds or feels like it's going to be expensive. And basically took it in to get it checked out, and all 4 of the catalytic converters had they're gone, basically, have caused an engine management light sensor issues, and I looked at how much the cost would have been to repair it, and it would have been about £2,000. So at the time, financially, I had taken a loan out for £12,000, and I think I'd saved 7. I think the car was about 19,000, so, and it was a 10-year-old car at the time, about 50,000 miles, so I couldn't afford it, basically. So I'd spent every penny I'd got on this, and every monthly payment that I was going to make would have been going into the car, so I didn't have any spare emergency fund. So I ended up having to write a letter through Citizens Advice and write to the dealer and send the car dealer a letter basically saying 2 weeks, like I've had the car for 2 weeks and it's not quite up to scratch, can I have a refund? And he ignored me. And in the end, he did actually reply, because I was just so persistent in it, because I was so desperately broke from it all and scared about how much it might cost. But yeah, dumb mistakes you make in your 20s that you look back and laugh at now.
He convinced himself that an old Porsche was a good purchase just because it was used. But old luxury cars come with luxury repair bills. I mean, this is something a lot of people forget, and he actually had no emergency fund.
Y'all, the finance people done got me, y'all. Tell me why. I just realized my first car that I ever financed, because, you know, I done bought used cars. I done had used cars. The first car that I financed, You know, I think I'm doing my big one, you know, my little loan, but I'm doing my big one. I'm making my payments on time. I'm even making extra payments. What the hell I just realized? All I'm doing is paying interest because my APR is 29.99%. Y'all, I swear to God, I'm not even playing with y'all. Shut up. Why didn't they teach us this in school? I can't even tell you what the hell we used the Pythagorean theorem for, but I could damn sure tell you my APR is 30%. Nobody told me what that meant.
For those of you guys that don't know what an APR is, an APR just means annual percentage rate. That's all it means. 30% is too much. It's just way too much. At that point, all you're doing is paying interest. You're not touching the equity. For those of you guys that don't know what an equity is, the equity just pretty much means the money you've paid on the actual principal. So the principal means the actual cost of the car minus the interest. So we got a comment here, it says, did you just say 29.99? I would take it back immediately. I'm at 5.9% and still trying to get it lower. Another comment from Christo says, sending my car back tomorrow and went and bought a cash car and never again will I ever have a car payment again. I mean, it's always the best route. If you can get it cash, it's always the best.
I seen this post going around that said if $2,400 a month for a car payment is high, then I can't even be around you. And I gotta say, I can't be anywhere near this guy.
Bro, I want to be around you too because that's just ridiculous, man. I don't want to be around you. I agree 100%.
We can't even be in the same vicinity as each other. He needs to file a restraining order against me because $2,400 a month for a car payment is crazy. What the fuck is y'all driving? Spaceships? Hey, I always wanted to get one of the motherships and put a Hellcat engine in it. Just ving, ving. Shit, for $2,400, I might need something with a flux capacitor strapped to the back of it. I'm trying to think, man, for $2,400 a month, fuck having like a Lamborghini or something. Bring me Optimus Prime. For $2,400 a month, I can literally have a whole fleet of Honda Civics, a whole army of Altimas. And I know I'm being cheap, broke.
That's facts, man. That's actual facts, man. You could have a fleet of Honda Civic.
Whatever you want to call it, because I know it's people out there actually paying that. It's just $2,400 a month? Ugh. I guess if you're making millions, it don't matter, but any other circumstance, it's crazy as hell. Actually, what y'all car payments looking like? Am I just being cheap, or is this a regular thing that's happening? I need to know something.
$2,400 for a car a month, someone's entire salary going into depreciation yearly. It says for $2,400 he would want an Optimus Prime. Hey, I mean, that's fair, man. That's fair 100%. I mean, he's not being cheap, he's being sane, because $2,400 has become so normalized in certain circles to the point when calling them out makes you sound like you're jealous, when actually it's just basic math. So we got a comment here, it says, non-car person here, if he can afford that, why can't he buy the entire car outright? I mean, I agree. If you can actually afford that, why not just get the entire thing outright? Another comment says, that's $28,800 per year. So this car better be paid off in 2 years if the payment's that high.
Oh my god, car finance is such a scam. Ignore the noise outside, but I've just received this letter in the post, yeah, of my car finance that I'm with. Yes, I do have a car on finance, but the point of this video is the car of itself, it was £11,621, right? On here, there's a 16.90% APR rate on the loan that I took out on the car, right? Its duration is 49 months. So I had another car that I actually part exchanged, so that car was worth £250, yeah, but the maximum deposit I could put on was £5,250, so I actually ended up getting £2,000 back into my bank account, which was good. But tell me why the loan literally doubled when the car itself is only worth £11,621. That is mental. Like, if I had the money, I could have bought 2 cars outright. So tell me why me taking out a loan is costing the same amount as a car.
So the car costs £11,600. So the total loan balance is £22,800. She could have bought 2 cars for what she was paying for. So for some reason, she only found that out after the letter came, which doesn't actually make sense. How do you sign a contract like that and not know the APR on the car? This is the issue. This is the problem going on in society today. People are actually getting loan carelessly. As a responsible adult, before getting a loan, you would need to actually read the contract, know the terms and conditions that has been stated on them. Getting a loan with that amount of APR is ridiculous. At the end of the term, you paid twice of what it would actually cost, which would mean you should have just gone ahead and bought yourself 2 cars with that payment. So the interest is ridiculous.
What trends have you noticed amongst people that are struggling financially? Like what are they doing with their money? Why is it not going in their favor?
Everyone's good with getting a 5, 6, 7-year car loan at 25% and thinks that that doesn't mean anything. So that's crazy. I mean, what? The average new car payment, what was it? I think it's recently come out to like $800 a month.
Yeah.
It's insane. If 50% of the people in the United States, 50% who have a job make $30,000 or less on a yearly basis, $800 a month as the new average car payment, that's insanity.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. So the longer the loan term, the lower the payment. This is what lenders want. This is what banks are actually rooting for. They want you to take the longer loans, the longer term loans. That way they know for sure you're going to pay more interest. Always keep this in mind. The longer you have to pay, the more you have to pay on interest.
If your car payment is half your paycheck, you can't afford it. You cannot afford it. What do you mean half your paycheck is going to your car payments? You're basically working to drive at that point, and that's not even factoring in like petrol, insurance, and servicing, everything else. Like if your car payments are 50% of your paycheck, I'm sorry, but you can't afford that car. You cannot afford. Please downgrade.
So I guess she said it all. I couldn't agree more. If your payment is half your earnings, you can't afford it. It doesn't make sense buying it because you're basically working just to drive. And that's the math for a lot of people. It is very sad, but it is actually the truth. This doesn't even touch the hidden costs of driving or owning a car. A blown tire, a brake replacement, any unexpected repair becomes a crisis.
The worst financial mistake I've ever made, I'll be honest with you guys, is this car that I'm currently driving. And it's not the car itself. Like, I literally love this car. I can't imagine myself driving anything else. It's the fact that I have car payments, which is so stupid. It literally makes me sick thinking about it. I wish we would have just waited like a year and maybe saved up like $20,000 in cash and bought a used car, because purchasing a brand new car was so dumb. Not only did it lose value like the second we drove it off the lot, but now we're paying interest payments on top of that. And this car is already 2 years old. Like, it was only brand new for like 5 minutes, so might as well have bought a used car. But at least I learned that lesson in my early 20s so that I never do that again in my life.
A new car typically loses around 10% of its actual value the moment you drive it off the dealership slot. Imagine your new car losing about 10% of its actual value just because you drove it off the dealership slot. From the video we can see she actually loves the car. The car is not actually the problem. The car has never been the problem. It's just the car payment. I'm pretty sure if she had found this channel earlier, she wouldn't have made the same mistake she made.
Hello?
Hey, this is Yusuf, the car dealer.
Hey, Yusuf, brother, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm calling about that Mercedes and the BMW
M850.
M850, okay, M850i. Tell me what you got.
So I have these 2 cars, right? I'm paying $5,000 a month, Yusuf. I'm tired of paying $5,000, right? I think I can get something much better than $5,000. I know I'm overpaying. The stupidity that I did, I actually found a local blower because I needed a car at that time. I was not being smart with my decision. So I bought, I leased a car locally in California. That's the worst mistake I did, to be honest. I want to get rid of both of these cars, right? My BMW lease is ending next year in March. My BMW lease ends in July next year. Both cars in one deal not going to work. I can hold the BMW. But then again, I'm going to get to $5,000 payment, right? So I was thinking to just get rid of both cars and just get into one car.
What kind of car do you want to get into?
To be honest with you, I was looking G63, but the numbers in California are completely off. And how the market is tariff, I can't think about getting a new car. So I have to go for the used car. G63, G-Wagon, or probably Urus. In the payment between $3,000 to $3,500. To be honest, $3,000, not $3,500. So what can I get into to be in $3,000 a month?
All right, so if you want to get $3,000 a month and you're looking for my advice, I guess we got to start with how much do you make a month? Your income.
See, I'm a contractor consultant, right? So it's a little bit different. So I would say like close to $15,000 to $20,000 a month.
And then what's your credit score right now?
822. FICO, I checked on Experian.
Beautiful. And how much money do you have down to kind of, because right now you have a little bit of negative equity on both cars, and they are leases. There's a lease termination fee you may have to pay, or you have to pay the remainder of the lease payment. How much do you have money down right now to get into a new car?
And I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. The max I can put is probably like 5K down. I can't do more than that.
High income doesn't equate to high financial intelligence. As you can see clearly from this video, this guy is paying $5,000 for 2 cars, a Mercedes and a BMW. Of all the cars in the world to get, he chose to get a BMW and a Mercedes Benz. These are premium luxury cars. These are no jokes. So he's $20,000 underwater, which means even if he sold both cars, he still needs to pay back $20,000 on both cars. That's a huge loss on his end. So every clip in this video comes down to one thing: status over sense. People are out here sacrificing their financial freedom just to look a certain way in front of people who honestly don't care. The system is designed to keep you in payment, and the moment you pay off one thing, there is that other new big thing waiting to be advertised at you. Now, breaking that circle is one of the biggest things you can do for your financial life. Drive what you can afford, build your wealth quietly, and remember, the people that you're trying to impress are also in debt.
Y'all, I cannot be getting behind these $700 car payments. Every time I work on budgets and I see any car payment, even above like $600, I want to like choke on my own vomit. And before you say, Jess, the average car is like $35,000. I don't care. You don't need a $35,000 car. You want a $35,000 car. I also feel like cars are just like the biggest tricks ever, because it's like, I've just never looked at someone's vehicle, even if it's like the oldest thing in the world, and been like, ew, like look what I don't care. I feel like most people do not care. Like, I will get in the oldest, like, beat-up car ever of someone else's and not give 2 shits, as long as it's not, like, piled with trash and fast food. Like, I do care about that stuff, but I would care about that if it was a brand new car. And you know it is, okay? You can try to justify it all day. All you want. You can try to justify that, but ain't no freaking way.